Hello, my name is Jesper. I'm from DAD, and you've tuned in on this CMS TV.
It is Chris Aiken Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Aiken. And today on the show, one of my all-time favorite guys. He plays in a band with one of my business partners, Mr. Johnny Gioeli. But it's all about him with this band. It's Axel Rudi Pell. They have a brand new release called Ghost Town out on March the 20th. It is an absolute ass kicker. And here to talk all about the ass kicking is the man himself, Mr. Axel Rudi Pell. Axel, how are you, sir?
Hi, Chris. Hi. Great to have me in the show. Thank you much. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You make it easy, Axel, because I'll tell you what, if you're, and I say this to people all the time, Axel Rudi Pell is kind of a power metal version of AC/DC. There's always a couple of changes here and there, but for the most part, you know what you're getting before you're ever handed it.
Because we found our own style. That's why.
Right.
And it's good. Yes.
Certainly. Well, Axel, let's dig into Ghost Town, man. It's right on time for about when we should be getting another Axel Rudi Pell record. You guys are very clock-worthy. Yes. Talk a little bit about that. Not so much about, maintaining a schedule and putting music out, but as a creative person, how hard is it to be creative and find new ideas when you do work on such a regimented scale?
It's not so difficult when you're a genie like me, No, I'm kidding. I'm always writing little bits and pieces. Every once in a while I practice the guitar, just play the guitar a bit. Sometimes a riff comes to my mind and say, wow, this is really cool. I always have my cell phone. I think I told you last time, I always have my cell phone with me, put a little riff on there and my voice recorder. And later on, I sit there and make the real songs out of it, But, it's not, sometimes I say, when a record is out, the last record, I say, Jesus, Mary, and the Holy Ghost, how can I top that one? It's really tough because I liked it so much. But then, on the other hand, the ideas are coming. The magic is always right in the air with me. I don't know why. Because I'm a genius,
That is what it is. You're just a musical genius. Nobody gives you enough credit for being a musical genius. That's what it is.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. I tell you, baby.
Well, Axel, I read in the press that you produced this record yourself once again, and that's not really a surprise. I have to wonder, though, how hard is it really to produce when you've got the world-class band? I mean, obviously, Bobby Rondinelli's played with everybody under the sun.
Right.
Johnny is, Johnny could sing the phone book, and I think people would love it.
Right. Yes.
So how much actual production do you have? How much guiding do you have to do with these guys?
I have to. Somebody has to be there to get them all under one hood. They always have to. Sometimes it's very tough for me as a producer to stand there with a whip in his hand and push the guitar player, because that's me, myself, and I, Right. I have to push myself. But on the other hand, it's very easy to work with this guy because they're all professionals. Yeah, and the business not since yesterday. I mean, Bobby, we're always having a joke with Bobby when you tell him in the tour bus, we're on the road and we're talking bullshit and whatever. We're talking there, and I say, hey, Bobby, that record, that song? And Bobby always said, doesn't matter which one, I played on that. He really played a lot of records, but we're all on the same musical length, on the same wavelength. When we go to the studio, and for example, I was sticking on Bobby, he come in here, he hears the riff for the first song, and said, I want to know exactly what you want me to play there, baby. And you start in the group, and it's perfect. We're all on the same level, and it's great. And it's, for me, it's not hard to find new tracks, because the magic has to be right, of course, but still I have so many ideas. I can easily fill a double or triple album. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Certainly. Well, do you ever find, and I don't know if it just works out this way or not, but it always seems like you're almost always competing with Johnny. It's like you put out a record and then Johnny has a Hardline record to go right next to the Axel record, or a Crush 40 or whatnot. And I mean, again, that probably goes to the fact that he never stops working either. But do you ever feel like you're almost competing against your own guy?
No, no, not that much because normally when a new ARP record will be out, there's no Hardline record around the corner. This time, so I think it's one month later it comes out. I don't know. He doesn't send me his shit. Sorry, I'm for swearing that. He's not. I didn't get any song, from him. So it's his thing. So let's do him his thing. I do my thing. Of course, he's part of the game. ARP. Without Johnny, we would be. Nothing. No, no. I think Johnny is one of the top 5 singers in hard rock or metal music around in the world. Definitely. The problem is he knows that.
Well, yeah, Johnny definitely knows that Johnny's great.
Yeah.
No question. Well, Axel, let's dig into the record a little bit. It is such a great record. I always try to start with my favorite song on it and try and get some opinions. It actually falls later in the record. I love the last 2 songs. I love Step of Stone. I love Higher Call.
Yeah.
And what I love most about both of them is maybe it's just me looking for something, but it seemed like you had a slightly different tone to what you were playing there especially in Higher Call. Am I making that up in my head, or were you trying something a little different? Or
you mean in the lead guitar thing, or
in the leads?
In the leads, I have to tell you that I have the same setup that I used in the last 20 years, or 18 years, or 15 years, I don't know. But we changed the rhythm guitar sound on this record. It's a little bigger. It's not so distorted like it used to be on the last album. So it took a long time for us to figure out, we can try this, we can try that, and this is the right way right now. So I'm very proud of the rhythm guitar sound, the new created rhythm guitar sound. But on the solo record, maybe I put more heart and soul into my playing. That could be.
Right on. Well, another one that I wanted to talk about, which I can already hear this at any show that you play, would be Guillotine Walk. That just seems very anthemic. It seems very fun. It's very ARP sounding. Tell me about that song.
Actually, I think it's a good opening track. I think we will play it on the tour, which will start in 2 weeks in Europe. So I really love it. And when I wrote it, I felt that on the verses there, no guitar at all. There's only the bass, the drums, the keyboards, and Johnny's great vocal, just to get the atmosphere. Sometimes it's better to put less guitar because the song breathes more. It has more space, and it gives this kind of feeling. And I really love that track too. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. The other one, which I'm sure everybody's mentioning in every interview you're doing, is of course Breaking Seals, because you bring in Udo. Now, if ever there was a voice that you don't expect in ARP, it is Udo Dirkschneider.
That's right.
And it's such a unique clash between him and Johnny. Tell me about that, and tell me specifically what you heard in that song that made you reach out to Udo.
Okay, it's a long story told very short. When I finished writing that track, it's the sound is for me the beginning of the riffing of the guitar sounds a little bit like Except 1981 Breaker Times or Balls in the Wall a little bit. And after I wrote it, I said, maybe it's a good idea to ask Udo to have a duet with Johnny there, and ask the other band members, and they all say, hey, that's a great idea, go for it. And I called Udo. I know Udo since more than 40 years. We're meeting each other at festivals, saying hi, how are you, blah blah, whatever. So I called Udo, and he said, I have to listen to the song first. If it fits to my voice, or if I like it, I do it. And he replied, he said, I love that track, let's do it. It was very easy, quick and done, perfect. Yeah.
Right on. And I know him just from interviewing him 900 times, same as you.
Yeah.
He seems like he's amenable to any of this stuff. He seems like the guy you could ask for any record and he'd be like, yep, let's do it. Let's get on the plane and go.
I don't know. Could be. But I'm not sure about that, because he said to me, at first he wanted to hear the song, If shitty song, I said, well, no, I'm sorry, I don't have the time for it. Whatever excuse that, whatever, who cares?
Yeah. Right. Certainly. Well, Axel, one last song I want to ask you about before we start talking about touring and whatnot. The Enemy Within seems like you're talking very much about people going through mental struggle, which a lot of people are going through today.
Yeah.
Tell me about that song, and what is that written from? Is that from observations, or is that written about somebody specifically, or what?
At first, I have to tell you that none of the lyrics, any song, is about personal things. I always said it's fiction about the things I have in my head. So I had the title first for the track, The Enemy Within, because everybody has an enemy within. The inner demon sometimes comes out, sometimes don't. But mostly the inner demon wins. In my case, it's a smoking. You know, I'm a smoking addicted with addiction to whatever.
Sure.
So, but it's not about struggling with life or anything. And not at rough times, but it's a little tough. But yeah, what else can I say? I love that track. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Why are you watching this with commercials? Go commercial-free and unlock exclusive content. Become a VIP today on Locals, Substack, or Rumble Premium. Stop waiting.
You love them all. Come on.
I love them all. Yeah, no, of course I love them all. Yeah.
I've been meaning to ask you this in the last 5 interviews. I'm going to ask it now because it just popped into my head.
Okay.
Do you even still know all the songs that you've played?
No. Of course I know them all, but if you tell me now, play from the 4th record, play number 7, play the song, I say, what the fuck are you? Sorry.
Right.
What are you talking about? I don't have a clue what your song is. I don't know how it goes. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Of course, I know all the tracks we're still playing live, the classic ARP.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just always wonder, once you get into that zone of having 200 or whatever songs, if you can remember them all.
I can't remember. No, I'm sorry for that. If you name me a title and I say, please sing the guitar riff or the melody, okay, not now. I don't know.
Right on, man. Well, Axel, obviously you are going to be going out on tour. You do a new record. That is the cycle. You do a record, you go out there and you let people hear it.
Yes.
Tell me about what's coming up for 2026 as far as touring.
Yeah, so the record will be out worldwide on the 20th of March, and our tour starts one day later on the 21st of March. We're playing in the UK, the first show in London. I think then we're going to Manchester. Then we're going, the main part is Germany. We have Switzerland. We have 3 shows in Sweden. We have one in Budapest, in Hungary. I don't know. I can't remember them all. This is only the first leg of the tour. Then the tour will continue in the fall. In September, October, we're going about the places we haven't played in the first leg. So I don't know. I don't have any clue. Yeah.
Right. Do you still at this point, after so many years, do you still love touring?
Oh yes, I love it, because when I wouldn't love it, I wouldn't do it anymore. So I do some record, but the fire inside of me is still burning. The flame is there. I want to go out. I want to go out, see the people play for them. They're having fun. We're having fun. We have so much energy on stage. Still in that high age, right? We're old guys, but we love to rock and roll, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. See, it's funny though, Axel, because I talk to tons of people, obviously, and everybody loves the stage part. Of course. I mean, that's the fun part. Yeah, but it's those other 22, 23 hours that it's like, all right, we're on a bus, we're sitting in an airport.
Right. Oh, Jesus, Mary. I hate flying, because I'm afraid of flying, but you wait to go on the plane. You have to go security check. You have to stand in line. Sitting on the plane, and the plane is late, 1 hour delay, 2 hours delay, whatever. I hate it. Yeah.
Understand, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on a tour bus, you're always waiting for showtime, You get out of the nightline, off the bus in the morning, go to breakfast in the venue, go to the hotel, take a shower, take a sleep, whatever. Go to the venue, have dinner, and say, wow, stage start, another 2 or 3 hours. Wow. Why? Please, why? Same. Yeah.
I've always heard too that one of the hardest things about touring itself is the food. Not because it's bad necessarily, but because you're doing a lot of opening of styrofoam boxes and eating out of styrofoam boxes instead of enjoying a nice steak or a nice salad or whatever. Is that true?
It is true, definitely. Sometimes, it happens when we get actually the catering at the venue. In most cases, it's okay, like 50% good, 50%. I don't know, but but on the off days, we have the chance to go out to a restaurant by our choice. Can eat whatever we like, and that's great. But the off days are very limited to maybe 2 or 3 for a tour.
Right, exactly. Well, Axel, let's pull it back to Ghost Town just for a minute here, just because I wanted to talk about the different versions that you're releasing this time. You're doing something a little different. There's 5 different versions of Ghost Town that are coming out, including a box set with the double LP. Talk a little bit about that specifically. Are you excited about it coming out as a box set?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love boxing because you're not limited to 1,000 copies. There, we have the CD Digipack is in there. Then we have this, how we call it, picture disc,
Hmm.
the double album picture disc. But every side of the disc has different picture on it. And then we have an MC in there, and then we have a vinyl single,
Okay.
it's that song Breaking Seals with Udo. And what I did, my record company asked me last year, at the end of last year, Axel, it would be great if you could sign all the singles, the vinyl single, personally. I said, no, no, I make a stamp and put it. No, 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 I have to do it first. I said,
Right.
okay, I buy a few pen. And I said, okay, send it to me. And that was a big mistake because they're right. It was so heavy I couldn't even carry it in my house alone by myself. And I did all of 1,000 things I did at my home. Yeah, I was glad when it was over. But I did it because it's part of the job and I love my job. So yeah,
Right.
this special thing. Yeah.
Sure. Do you feel like in today, 2026 time, that you almost have to, you can't only focus anymore on being a musician. You have to create quote unquote product because the way the industry has gone has just taken your ability to make money.
That's right, exactly. It's exactly, definitely. You got it 100%. Normally in the past, 40, 50 years ago, yeah, I'm only a musician, I write music, and you have big managers and they're taking care of everything. I don't know. I'm my own manager. I don't need a manager. He takes money away from me, which I own. Yeah, so
Right.
fair enough. No, I do everything by myself. I did the cover artwork. I write all the songs. I'm my own producer. I'm creating my own t-shirt, the merchandise, all done by myself. So because I'm a genius.
Do you like that it's that way now?
I
I mean,
love
I'm
it.
sure you
I love
would
it.
love it the other way when you
Uh,
have somebody do it, but
I love it because then I have the total control. So when you have one thing, but you have five people working on it, you have five different ideas, five different pictures in their heads. I only have my picture in my head. I want to have it that way, and we go that way.
right.
Yes, I love it.
Certainly. I
Yeah.
hear you. Any festival? I know you said that you're playing all around Europe. Any festivals coming in that run somewhere?
No, we have it. We have only one festival this year because we're concentrating on 2027. The
Okay.
whole summer will be packed with festivals for us. So we did a lot of festivals in 2024. I think we around 11, 12, or I don't know, I can't remember. But not only one festival this summer, but like I said, next year, big festival season for us then.
Sure. Is that in today's world where it's so expensive to travel?
Yeah.
Is that kind of the more ideal thing is to play a festival and play in front of 40,000 people all at once instead of 10 gigs of 4,000 people or what have you?
Yeah, but the thing is when you're playing your own headlining shows in clubs or bigger or smaller venues, whatever, like you said, 4,000, 5,000 people, they pay the money to see yourself because you're the headlining band. When
Hmm.
you play on festival in front of 40, we played Wacken in 2024 in front of 85,000 fans. And the good thing was they didn't run away. They stayed there and watched that, and that's good because
Right.
they're not there because you want to see Axel Rudi Pell live before. They're there because it's a big an event, biggest metal festival in the
Hmm.
world. So they love it, and you have to get them. You have to play really hard and tough to make these people who think for who's that Axel Rudi and Pell isn't one idiot enough. You know, let's give it a try. And when you get them and they're all yeah, and that's a really cool job. That's tough job, but I love it.
Sure. Do you have nerves like 3 seconds before you walk out in front of that Vakken crowd?
Of course, of course. Yeah, I don't have problems with that. I used to have. I was really I had stage fright like 20 years ago or whatever. Oh,
Sure.
the fucking this big fan, big fan, so many people. It's like if you're playing in front of 500, 200, 5,000 or 85,000, there's no difference for me. So I don't have stage fright anymore. And so when everything runs smooth, the only
Mm-mm.
thing I have in mind before a little nervous about is the technical equipment working. Can I hear
Sure.
myself? That's always on the stage, like a huge stage, like a record with so many bands playing there and no sound check. You have to make really sure that you hear everything and your playing is good. Yeah, that's
Sure.
the thing I'm worrying about before.
I've never obviously played on a stage that big, but I've had the chances to introduce bands, from being a radio guy. And the biggest one I ever did was Pantera in front of
Wow, cool.
18,000 people or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you from my perspective, I walked out there with an agenda. This is what I'm going to say. This is how I'm going to introduce the band. Yeah. And I forgot all of it the minute I saw that mass of people. How do you not forget what you got to do?
Because I'm used to it,
Okay.
I'm doing it so long, so many years. I don't. Sometimes I ask my keyboard, "What's the key of the first song again?" It was always a joke. Oh, you forgot F sharp. I say, I know that, Ferdy. Thank you anyway. Yeah, I don't forget anything. No.
Craving the ultimate treat without the hassle? Introducing Randy Trask no-bake cookies, the best gourmet no-bakes on the market today. Perfect for parties, events, work vibes, or just pure cookie bliss. Indulge in our peanut butter no-bake cookies or the irresistible chocolate peanut butter fumblers. Local delivery is available in the Ashtabula, Ohio area. Or visit www.rtnobakecookies.com and order your cookies today from Randy Trask's No-Bake Cookies.
Well, you know what I forgot was we once played. It was a couple of years before the war starts. We played in Russia. We played in Moscow. We played in the Kremlin, Ice Sports Palace, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a TV show, and we were the only Western rock band on that. That was a three-day show, whatever. There was John Travolta was there. Michael Bolton was there singing there.
Okay.
Whatever. We've been there. And the promoter came 2 hours before we had one playback song to do. He asked me, "Can you do an introduction there? There's a Japanese band, some kiddies, and they won a trophy. Can you make the speech?" I said, "I don't know the band. The band from Japan." And and here the list with all the name of the guys. So I have to read it. Yeah. And then I forgot everything. I was on stage and was like, "Okay, the band, what's the name of the band?" And then what the doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, and then I make a funny thing because the people in Russia they don't understand English. There's a translator behind me, and he said what I said. I had to stop, and then he translated everything into Russian language.
Right.
And I did a joke at the end. I looked at my paper, and I was done with the speech, and then I read, "Oh, there's something else on the paper." It said, "Your speech is over now. Get the fuck out of here." And it was quiet in the audience. And then the translator said, "Ah!" That was great,
That's funny.
Yes, yeah.
Very good. Well, Axel, it is a great time to be an ARP fan. You have this fantastic record. Everybody needs to buy it. Don't just stream it, everybody. Please buy it.
Yes.
Ghost Town, March 20th. And you just heard me say it, Axel. We tell people if you're going to stream it, give it a listen, give it two, get a feel for it, but then buy something.
Yes.
Where do they go to buy something? Where's the best place?
Everywhere. It's everywhere online. It's on Amazon. It's in record store. If it's still alive, I don't know. You can get it anywhere.
All right. Excellent. Well, one more time, it is Ghost Town. It is Axel Rudi Pell, March the 20th. And Axel, this is always great. Thanks once again for joining me on Chris Aiken Presents.
Chris, my pleasure. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for again, very nice interview. Love it. Yeah, baby.
You.
Step back into time and flip into fun at Pinball PA, the ultimate arcade and museum where classic games come alive. Located off Broadhead Road in the Hopewell Shopping Center, Pinball PA invites you to play with 400 pinball machines and video games, from rare gems to your all-time favorites like Pac-Man, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Frogger, and the latest pinball hits. Perfect for families, friends, field trips, birthdays, and gamers of all ages, Pinball PA is open Tuesdays through Sundays with unlimited play for one low price. No quarters needed. Learn more at pinballpa.com.